Yeah, we really did need to invest in some decent microphones. Oh, hi there! Hello, welcome to the first ever 19th episode of Whoniverse. You here with me, Jamie?
Me, Lewis.
Me, Brian.
Dum de 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 dum. So yeah, I've been listening to our old episodes. I've been creating a tally of the scores basically. So we're doing it first to 100 points, or I'm gonna have like a final. If it's like a sort of draw of it, if you're you're nearing 100 points by the end of the year, what we'll do is have a massive Whoniverse or hogwash episode.
Bonanza is always...
Whoniverse or hogwash bonanza, capital letters, that will be the name of the New Year's podcast.
Where are you so far in listening to the...
episode 3.
Episode? So, and who's winning so far?
Brian.
Ooh. How many points?
Because what happened was, I think Brian, in episode 2, Brian got all the questions right. In episode 1, you just got a couple right, but Brian got them mostly wrong. So it kind of like tallied out that way. I think it's because we didn't do Whoniverse or hogwash in all the episodes. I think it'll get to the point where in one of the episodes we start, the maximum amount of points you can get in a game is 10 points. When we do it, we tally the points by description and title. Yeah. So that's when it's going to get really interesting. Currently Brian's in the lead, but we'll see, because I'm catching up on re-listening to all the shows. Can I say it's really weird listening to all the shows in unison with my other regular podcast, because there's a massive dip in quality when it comes to audio. It's like, are these guys recording in a chamber, in a cave? So we will be investing in microphones at some point, even if it's just a single microphone in the centre of the table. Will be better than what we currently have. Yeah. Anyway, so we got the results from our listeners for our first topic of the show: voting in the TARDIS for best Eccleston episodes. We had The Empty Child, Bad Wolf, World War III, and The Parting Ways.
I think you predicted this one, really, Jamie.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it was always going to be The Empty Child at 56%, but I'm most surprised. It was always going to be, with our poll, there's always like a landslide winner, but when it comes to the last place, it's usually really close. But on this one, it's World War III, 5%.
No one liked the farting aliens then.
Excuse me, can you stop farting whilst I'm trying to save the world?
Still, I thought that Bad Wolf would have done better than World War III.
It did do better than World War III. World War III is 5%. Bad Wolf is 27%.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I read it as 35% rather than World War III, 35%.
There is a space.
Yeah, okay. But no, that's a huge gap.
And the Parting of the Ways, 12%. Well, that's because everyone that would have voted Bad Wolf actually voted for The Empty Child. So, if you want to think of it that way. So we got some comments from the listeners in regards to what they thought of the poll and how they feel about the show moving forward, really. So we got our what accent do we want from you today?
Well, look at the name. You know, like I quite like that name actually.
That Metal Nessie.
Yeah. So that's like metal.
We're gonna go to Scotland.
Scotland.
So let's get your best Scottish act as
all right.
that Metal Nessie.
Right, wait, how do we do Scottish again?
Scotland! Get your kilt, somebody!
Daleks for me! I'm going Australian on it. Oh yeah,
that wasn't Australian, but okay.
Daleks for me. The brutality of this one single Dalek on its own is something we haven't seen. It's terrifying.
Would like to try again with your Serbian Scottish man.
I was messing up.
Pavel
Daleks.
You still sound Serbian.
Why do I sound Serbian?
It's Daleks for me. The brutality of a single Dalek on its own. That's something we haven't seen.
I think this would be better in a German accent.
I think this was in a Serbian accent.
Daleks.
You've only made it through halfway through the tweet so far. You made it halfway through.
No. So yeah, okay. Daleks for me.
Oh dear.
I can't do it now, guys. The brutality of this. The brutality of this one single Dalek on its own is something we haven't seen since it's terrifying. Alright, I messed up the flow of that sentence, didn't I?
It's okay, just keep going.
Plus, the scene where it's revealed that the Doctor and the Dalek talk about the war is incredible. The Doctor has become a bit mad. It's so good from Eccleston.
Can I just say the wording of this tweet is so strange? The scene where it's revealed that the Doctor and the Dalek talk about the war, like it needs revealing that they had a chat.
Yeah.
Like, it's a reveal they had a conversation. We got another one from at Rafa Wright. Now Rafa, I always associate with Raphael, which is French. So, if you would.
Okay. How do we do French again? It's like
Baguette.
The empty child.
no, that's more like German. You know, like the Z empty child. So French is.
The empty child, because are you my mommy and also Jack? And this once everybody
Well-
lives.
How do you say the empty child? Because are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? And also, I'm going. This is going Serbian
It's like
again.
you just do service.
I know.
You're a one-trick pony.
No, just a little.
Just carry on with the sentence. You don't have to start
How
again.
do you say the empty child? Because are you my mommy? And also Jack. And just this once, everybody lives. No, it's gone to hell, hasn't it? Technically, the Doctor dances, but it is a 2-part episode. It counts.
So if the Doctor dances an episode, that's a 2-part story. Again, the wording. So
The Doctor dances.
So we got another comment from at Sit on My Sontaran.
What a name!
Brian, if you could give us your best Sontaran.
No, can't.
You can't do
I
Sontaran.
found the bad
I
wolf.
found that Bud Wolf was the first instance of dread in New Who. Doctor Who suddenly got dark.
Real dog.
Please surrender so I can kill you.
And then
Alright.
boil you in acid.
So,
Yes.
so for the next poll, this is probably going to be the most controversial poll of the entire podcast. The 4 best Tennant episodes. So, that's also the topic of the show, or the topic of WhoCast. 3 seasons, 3 Christmas specials, and 1 New Year special. David Tennant's probably one of the most prolific and well-respected actors to have ever played the Doctor, who has since gone on to play iconic roles that some would say are even more culturally significant than his Doctor Who performance as the Purple Man Jessica Jones, where we saw exactly how sinister he can be as an actor. But when narrowing down his top 4 episodes for a poll, should we include the 50th anniversary episode or keep it solo?
I would say we shouldn't.
I'd say we shouldn't as well. I think it needs to be solo, and if we were going to do that sort of thing, we'd have to go the top special episodes. Have we done a poll like that before? The top special episodes? Christmas specials, I know we did that.
We can do that another time,
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of Tennant, there is just too much to choose from, and we're never going to be able to appease everybody in this poll.
Yeah, so I did ask the question on Twitter
Yeah.
as to what episodes they'd like to see, and these were the most common episodes that popped up. Voyage of the Damned, Doomsday, Girl in the Fireplace, fantastic episode,
I love that episode.
Blink.
Yeah, well, Blink as well.
Full blink. And
Silence in the Library, which would be my choice,
Yeah.
Forest of the Dead, Army of Ghosts, and then one person tweeted, the one where the Doctor uses a water gun.
Do we know which episode that
I
is?
don't know.
no idea.
I was kind of hoping one of you would know.
I've got a vague recollection of it, but I mean...
It's like, it's just doing this with a little green water episode.
Does,
Bad kitty.
No idea. Right, so...
So I think when it comes to most the episode of Doctor Who that everyone thinks this is in all the seasons, it's always going to be Blink.
Yeah.
We can't get away with not putting it in this poll.
Yeah,
like, this poll isn't about avoiding a landslide and splitting
Yeah.
the audience. This is the definitive
Yeah.
best episode of David Tennant.
I think if that's the case as well, Silence in the Library has to go in
Yeah.
there because it is one of Tennant's best, and it's the start of that amazing story arc.
Silence in the Library, I'd go for over the Forest of the Dead. 'Cause, well, Forest of the Dead is the end of the River Song saga. Silence in the Library is the first time we're introduced. It's
Yeah.
I love timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
But Silence in the Library is probably one of my... With Vasta Narada has to be my favourite Doctor Who.
Really good
villain.
enemy, really creepy.
creepy
Yeah,
baddies,
yeah.
Hey,
Why
who turned out the lights?
Yeah.
Why
Hey,
are the horror ones?
Who turned out the lights?
Why are the horror ones always the best ones? You know.
That's what Doctor Who should be about.
Yeah, it's very true. There's always a haunted episode of Doctor Who where it does revolve around the dead. Especially New Who. I'm not too sure about classic Brian, but
I would say it's a New Who phenomenon.
yeah, they'll have like they'll have a haunted house episode, for example.
So, what would your choice? You know, if you're choosing something that's not on this list already, Jamie, what would your choice in terms of the best Tennant episode?
My two favourite episodes are actually already on the list that was provided by the listeners. Girl in the Fireplace and Silence in the Library. I've never seen Blink. It's no. I'm going to watch it.
I've seen all of Tennant's, but I actually went back and watched Tennant's. You know, because I came into it at Smith's era. Smith's era.
That's gonna be really awkward for Universal Hogwash. Or maybe I'm just putting you off. I haven't decided yet.
That's going to be awkward. Or is it?
But so Girl in the Fireplace.
I think that's a really good choice.
Blink has to go on there.
Yeah.
Silence in the Library.
I need one more.
Brian?
One Me a Ghost was very good because it brought us
Give us
Daleks and Cybermen fighting it. Well, no, so Doomsday brought us our Daleks and Cybermen fighting it.
One of my favourite quotes in Tennant 2 is like, "You would defeat us with 4 Daleks. We would defeat you with 1 Dalek."
Was it Cybermen are superior in one way? What's that? Dying.
I have to watch that episode again. It's a really good point that you raised there anyway, Brian, about we should definitely do one for specials. We're actually running very close to it, actually, because we're going to do Matt Smith next, and then we're going to do Capaldi. We're going to skip Jodie Whittaker because she's still new.
We need 3 seasons from her before we can make.
Otherwise, the Rosa Parks episode is just going to win. It'll be another Eccleston, and again with Eccleston, he only lasted 1 season, so that's why it's such a landslide. I think this one's going to be very close, especially between Silence and Blink.
Yeah.
So the 4th episode, Doomsday. Is that what you wanted, Brian?
Yep.
Okay. So that's our poll. Who do you think is going to win?
Probably
it will be between Blink and Silence in the
Yeah,
Library,
yeah.
I think.
I think Blink.
I think Blink is going to land. I think Blink is going. It's my over 50% of the votes are going to be for Blink.
Yeah.
So that's it for what are the best Tennant episodes. We'll pick this up next week with the poll results. Lewis, I hear you've been on the internet to give the news.
I have indeed. Let me have a look here. Okay, so...
and I really hope you got something about the new classic Doctor Who Blu-ray release.
I did have a look at that, but I vetoed it from my news.
No!
I know that there was a Blu-ray release. I couldn't...
It's probably the most important piece of Doctor Who news.
I thought that there was much more interesting things happening in the Big Finish, verse. There's a Doctor Who spin-off of the new adventures of Bernice Summers.
Who's Bernice
Summerfield, sorry. She was with the 7th Doctor.
Denise.
Is it Denise?
Oh, I know.
No, it's Bernice.
It's Bernice. It is
Definitely
Bernice.
I know a really good joke, actually.
Go on.
I think it's a true story. So, this woman was giving birth, and she actually went into a coma after giving birth. Very sad. So he fell onto her brother to name these twins. Okay, so obviously the girl.
It's not going to go well, is it?
So obviously,
obviously, it's very funny.
the girl he names Denise, and obviously it came to the boy, so he was a little bit stunned. So he thought, the nephew.
Excellent. So, Jamie's lost it, guys. Jamie's lost it.
It's just ruined the name Denise for me.
No, so it was Beneath. It was Beneath Summerfield. So she was the companion of the Seventh Doctor, an archaeologist, and many stories had been written. In fact, her story arcs have been running for the last 20 years. So she's a very popular character, and they have been.
Is she involved in New Who doing
this? No. They've been running on Big Finish, so we're not. We haven't seen.
No, I mean, does she run into New Who as in the current timeline?
Not from anything that I've read about.
Oh, so she's still very much in the classic era.
Well, the thing is, she in this spin-off series, and there have been others. Prior to this, there have been other spin-off series with her in. She's wandering around without the Doctor on her own. Doing.
Shouldn't do that. It's like rule number 348. Don't wander off. Actually, I think it's the second Doctor's first rule. Don't wander off.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember rightly, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always don't lie. Doctor lies. Anyway, carry on.
So in terms of this character, very very beloved character in the Whoniverse. Moving on, Jodie Whittaker, birthday on the 17th of July. She was spotted wearing some. Basically the.
Spotted her on her birthday already.
Yeah. Well, the Radio Times.
She's a time traveler, isn't it?
Yeah, 17th of June.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's the
20th today, so just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, a few days ago. So the Radio Times made a big thing about it, saying that the Doctor would never be seen in pink fluffy headband and a big birthday girl badge with fairy wings. There's a nice picture of her with the cast celebrating her birthday. Let's have a look here. There's also a new multi-story Doctor Who Big Finish coming out. This multi-story includes the first and second Doctor. I found that quite interesting. We've got the the two original Doctors there. It looks like Zoe and Jamie are going to meet the first Doctor.
Am I?
Well, not you, Jamie, but you. Although you would love to. I actually have the storyline here.
The rustling people, just so in case you want a visualization. He's just going through his sticky notes.
So
Russell T Davis. That's what we should call you from now on.
So it says when Zoe reaches for an old piece of equipment the TARDIS controls, she and Jamie and the Doctor are very lucky to avoid a collision, but the place they find themselves in may be even more dangerous because they encounter another Doctor, a space pilot named Stephen, and a young woman called Katrina, who really shouldn't be there. Now,
I love the classic Who names because they're also common.
Yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Bob.
Jeff.
Yeah.
It's never, and now we've got Rory, Rose Tyler, and Bob Jones.
So, Stephen and Katrina were the last from what I was reading earlier. Were the last companions that the first Doctor had.
Well, don't think they were the last. They were later companions. Certainly after Ian and Barbara.
But there seems to be some problem with Katrina, who seems to have only had a very limited run in the show. So she was at the end of one episode, and then she was taken out or died at the beginning of a second episode. So there's a bit of confusion as to where this event actually happened. So as it happened in the TARDIS, while they've been going from.
Let me tell you something about Doctor Who. It's full of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Well, it's more like a rug, really.
So yeah, that concludes the news.
Okay, so that moves on to our next section. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch our history lesson, so I'm going to give this one a miss this week. Not my fault. Brian didn't bring the DVD in time.
No, you weren't here.
I wasn't here because I was on sickness with the old toothache. I collapsed, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking me if I'm okay at the start, but I almost gave this week a miss. I think you both were...
It was just very convenient he turned up on the day of the podcast. That's what we were thinking anyway.
Sanya mentioned that in my meeting.
Yeah. Well, either way, let's...
So there's a little bit of blurb from the back of the DVD.
Okay.
The TARDIS lands on an Australian beach in the 21st century. But this is no seaside holiday. Within minutes, the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria...
So is the episode... Is it upside down?
Yes, it is. It's all set in Australia.
The size of a tangerine. Hey, Sheila.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
See, I did to Australian. It comes out South African.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that.
Yeah, I can.
Bacon, Jamaican bacon.
No, Alan.
You have lovely family.
No, Alan, you can't. Stop saying that. They soon discover the Doctor bears a startling resemblance to leader Salamander, a would-be dictator intent on world domination. Before long, the Doctor and his companions are plunged into a dangerous game of espionage, intrigue and deceit as they face off against the enemy of the world.
Enemy of the world.
Who's the enemy of the world?
Salamander.
So, like the animal.
So, no. Like the person.
like him.
Oh!
Who looks very much like the
So
Doctor.
he's the Doctor's doppelganger.
He looks very sinister. Can I have a look at that?
You can.
He is very sinister. He's very sinister, and you can't quite place his accent. He says that he's from Mexico.
He looks like the Doctor in what way?
In the way that he is played by
Pat Troughton.
Pat Troughton.
Well, he doesn't look like the Doctor on the front cover.
No, the Doctor looks less sinister because he's the Doctor.
I think he's got a slightly different haircut.
But he's got
It's
a comb over.
Slightly, he's slightly to
he's
the
got
side.
a come over.
Yeah. Yes, I've forgotten about the Salamander's very bizarre accent.
Yeah,
But
which
does he
you
claim
can't quite
is he
place.
Mexican,
The claim
supposedly?
he claims that he's from Mexico. Yeah, but he has an accent that keeps dropping into sort of like an English shot there.
I can do Mexican. Let me give it a speedy guns out. It's like,
Awesome.
Ángale, Eva. Misa don't need no Doctor Who, comprende?
If there are any Mexicans listening to the show today, please don't take offence in general.
There's no offence.
Don't sue us.
There's no offence in attempting an accent.
We're not Top Gear. We
Look.
don't mean anything by it.
We try all the accents. We don't just pick on like one or two of Brian Lewis's. We asked Lewis to do. We asked him to do French, Scottish, Irish, German, but he always seems to do Serbian.
We are equal opportunities discriminators.
That's not oxymoron. So
Anyway,
I think it's a cracking story, and I'm so glad that it's been.
cracking story, Gromit.
I really enjoyed it. Was this one of the missing?
This was on the missing ones that
Ah.
turned up in Kenya or Malawi or
Excellent.
some far fun place like Wales.
Ironically, most lost episodes pop up in Australia.
Yeah. The funniest thing about this being set in Australia is there's like one Australian accent in the entire thing, and it's a really bad Australian accent.
Is it filmed in Australia?
No.
Oh no.
It's definitely filmed on something like Bridlington Beach or something like that. But
So it's not like watching an episode of Neighbours and
No.
or Home and Away.
It's about as far away as you could get.
Where was Brookside set? What was it?
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. That's why no one had a TV.
in terms of
We've just lost the Mexicans,
the Liverpudlians,
The French.
French.
the French. We're hemorrhaging listeners.
The Australians are thick skin. I don't think I'm not worried about them.
Okay. So yeah, plotline wise, it's a very intense espionage style plotline. The Doctor goes undercover to infiltrate Salamander's operation.
Yeah, it's very James Bond.
He doesn't want to, and he wants evidence that Salamander's a bad person before he goes in. But somehow he ends up being talked into the matter without solid evidence. He takes a circumstantial, and he goes to look into it by impersonating Salamander. In very well. Until you get up to the end. There's not a lot in terms of Salamander and the Doctor meeting up, and right at the end, Salamander is aware the Doctor's impersonating him by episode 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but
I thought the Salamander was impersonating the Doctor.
No, it's the other way around.
Okay.
See, Salamander's the bad guy, and the Doctor just happens to look like him.
Okay.
So Salamander's the Doctor's doppelganger. As I say, you do feel sort of. It does feel kind of intense as the Doctor's, because you feel like the Doctor may get caught at any point.
Yeah, it's very. There's a lot of sort of moments.
Yeah.
And be all right.
Yeah, someone's coming into the room. I can't remember the name of the. He's on the back cover here. I think he was the head of records or something like that, and he was really the driving force of bad things happening in the episode.
So, one question I've got for you is in previous episodes of in previous stories of Doctor Who that we've seen, especially in the classic era, there's been a lot of cases where the Doctor's been in the story, but it's not necessarily had a detriment to the plot. Where him being in the story or not being in the story would have had no effect on the way the story proceeded at all.
This is not one of those stories.
It's not one of those stories, and the Doctor is an essential component in the plot line. He, as I say, he goes undercover to impersonate Salamander, but there's this whole build up to him doing so. You get there are two characters that are looking to bring down Salamander's operation, or are they?
Bum bum bum.
Yeah, there's a lot of double agents.
Yeah, and sort of
triple agents,
double speak, and that
quadruple
sort of
agents.
Yeah. Jamie and Zoe.
Hey.
Jamie and Zoe go undercover initially in Salamander's operation to uncover, the truth about Salamander.
Yes.
They end up working.
Do they work in the kitchen?
They do. Well, no, he works as a guard, and she goes through kitchens, which is it's the era. It's the 1960s. This is what you got to deal with if you want to watch classic Who.
I keep saying to my wife, "Know your place."
So,
and that's why I always have bruises.
and
I don't actually play rugby.
We're just alienating all women now. Jamie ends up becoming one of the guards, where Zoe ends up in the kitchen. The cook really doesn't like Zoe at first. No. He asks her what she could make, and she sort of doesn't know how to answer the question. He's like, okay, you can peel potatoes and don't mess it up or something.
Is he not French?
Oh,
no, if he's French, that is the worst French accent.
So kind of like in the previous episode we saw where he goes to one of them, "Oh, can you cook?" "No, I can get by." Goes to one, "What can you do?"
I can eat.
"I can eat."
I think there is another reference like that, like maybe Zoe can eat. I'm
really cool if Doctor had its own sort of Wilhelm scream, like
something that
keeps popping up.
That always pops up. So moving on.
Well, we talked about there's a line in it, but I wasn't sure if it was Pat Troughton ad-libbing.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the characters says to the Doctor, "I'll meet you by the disused jetty."
Jetty, yeah.
And the Doctor says, "Disused jetty?"
Yeah. She goes, no, jetty.
I don't know if that was ad-libbing and they kept it in,
Did you know
possibly.
Every single episode of Doctor Who, the scripts are still around. So you can actually watch the episode with the scripts. They're freely available online.
Oh, you could look at
So you could easily find out, unless they fixed it post
prod.
Yeah.
But I think it's I'm biased. I love 99% of the classic stories, to be honest. And I like all the ones.
Which is fine. That's why we brought you on as the Who story, and so.
So
I love the bad ones.
Loved it.
I just want to ask, at the end there, Bri, when the Doctor finally meets Salamander, and Salamander tries to impersonate the Doctor at the last bit, what happens to Salamander? Because the TARDIS seems to go nuts, and Salamander slides out of into the vortex. Into the time. That's what I was thinking.
That's very dark.
Yeah, into the time vortex. He just ejects him.
Classic Who had no problem at all about killing people off.
Mm-hmm.
And the Silurians, I think about half of London gets wiped out by a plague. Excellent.
It's like with Captain Jack. We couldn't kill him, so we'll make him live forever, so he doesn't die.
So yeah.
So let's think what we can. He used to play the recorder. Did the Second Doctor? So recorders out of 10.
I think there was I think there was a thingy to that, a little mention to that when he started whistling at Jamie at one point, and he was like, right, so recorders out of 10.
A wolf whistle or
No.
Oh.
I give it
Sorry,
8.5
recorders out of 10. It was a really interesting storyline, and I did enjoy
I
it.
can't believe you do have a perfectly good recorder. You cut one in half.
Well, I'm
Jesus
sorry.
now, thanks.
I'm not giving it 9 recorders. And right,
another well appreciated classic story.
Mm-hmm.
Next week. Dun dun dun.
Bum bum bum.
Well, we featured.
What are you rating it?
Oh, I'm giving it 9 recorders out of 10.
And I see he doesn't want to break a recorder.
Well, I'll snap that recorder in two. I think it'll still work in some way, but it's not going to be as...
If we got that half recorder, I'm going to give it 9.5.
Right, we're just going around like it was a broken recorder now.
Oh, dear. Pass me a recorder link. I might get through the last part of this podcast. So we're going to do a multi-doctor story.
Excellent.
Is it the 3 doctors?
No.
Is it the 5 doctors?
It is.
There was only 2, wasn't there?
No, they did the 2 doctors as well.
Oh, the 2. I've running out of titles. Just really quickly, keeping it on classic here. Every single box that they're doing Doctor Who the collection.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping you bring it up on the news, so you let me down, Lewis. I do pre-order every single one, and I do order them all. So it's going to get to a point soon where Brian, you won't have to lend me the DVDs anymore.
Have you pre-ordered season 23?
Yeah.
And how did
Trial of a Time Lord.
How does your wife feel about this?
You forget my wife's a Whovian, Lewis.
I know your wife's a Whovian, but I think you forget about the impending child.
At one point, I ordered it, and it arrived whilst I was at work, and I thought I was going home to a divorce. I was going home to open arms, Lewis. I was welcomed like a hero.
Wait till she watches Trial of a Time Lord.
It'll be with tears of a time Lord. So trials. So it's the 5 doctors.
5 doctors.
Next. Did you bring the DVD with you today?
Of course I didn't. I've only just decided watching the 5 doctors. I
I'm
shall
saying,
bring it in tomorrow.
What if I'm not in tomorrow?
Just on a side note, do you always watch the classics with your wife?
Sometimes. I usually just watch them on my own. Because,
right, okay.
Yeah. She's otherwise indisposed.
Mm-hmm.
So is that who's your lesson for this week, Brian?
Yeah, here endeth the lesson.
And that brings us on.
Everyone's favourite part of the show. Except mine and Lewis.
To Whoniverse or Hogwash. Now, really quickly, when you play this game, how do you feel? Does it feel tense? Do you ever feel like you're going to answer it and you're sort of double guessing yourself, and you double guess yourself and you got it wrong, and then you're blaming yourself? You
I've
go
kicked
home.
myself a few times.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain level of pressure because if you get it wrong and you were going to answer the other way, you're completely devastated.
So just so you know, this week's was written by somebody else.
Right.
Okay, he doesn't want to be named. So
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. So, but you might find him
Is
difficult.
he is he a better writer?
We're about to find out. I'm not modest in the slightest. I think I'm a really good writer. Brian just put on his glasses. Just for the listeners out there, Brian's
brainy
glasses
respect.
have it's like Dickinson's real deal with his glasses. So, Universal Hogwash, Universal Hogwash is a real, is a fraud. Universal Hogwash. So who won last week?
It was me by
Lewis
1
won,
point.
yes.
So Brian, you go second.
Awesome.
Wait, have I won 2 weeks in a row now? I feel I have.
It's all about the points. Brian might have had a really heavy lead. It's not about number of wins. It's about the points.
No, I understand that, but it's looking kind of.
It's
grim
like
for
never
Brian.
aim for the draw in an episode just to stay ahead, because
The points will come if I keep beating him in this manner.
so
Yeah, but if I'm ahead, all I need to do is keep agreeing with you. And I will get to 100 points first.
so here we go. Prisoner. That's why you both go first, opposite times. So one day you're just going to keep disagreeing with each other. So, Lewis, prisoner of the Daleks. Henry Van Statten, the powerful leader of aerospace and biotech groups, held a press conference to announce that aliens exist. They have already attacked Earth once and that several governments are aware of this fact. Henry Van Statten gives the government involved 24 hours to tell the truth. When the time expires, he shows a living alien to the media. Prisoner of the Daleks is the title.
I think it's Hogwash and Whoniverse.
Hogwash Universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's...
You agree? You both have 0 points.
Excellent.
Can I say the title comes from a book written by Trevor Baxendale. I have to really credit the writing here because the description comes from episode 8 of season 8 of Stargate SG-1.
It was a Henry Van Statten in Stargate.
I had an inkling.
We changed the names.
It's a space race, isn't it? It's a space race episode.
The big clue would have been that Henry Van Statten only ever appeared in the episode Dalek in season 1 of New Who.
So
I think it popped up since. So, you both have 0 points.
It's a cracking start.
Yeah. Brian. The gunpowder plot. The Doctor, Amy and Rory travel to the end of the Lau dynasty, forward to Jacobean London in 1605. There they unearth a conflict between two opposing alien races, the Sontarans and the Rootans, and meet Guy Fawkes during the time of the gunpowder plot. Now, Lau, spelled Liao. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lau. Oh,
yeah.
Legal.
Whoniverse.
Okay. Lewis?
I want to say...
I can repeat it.
I want to say Whoniverse and Hogwash.
Whoniverse Hogwash, the real is a fake. Brian, you get 2 points. Lewis, you get 1. The first and only episode of Series 2 of Doctor Who The Adventure Games, released in 2011. The plot of this game is considered to be one of the most intriguing in Doctor Who as a whole. Released on PC and Mac in 2011.
1605, though. Honestly,
1605.
wasn't that the reign of Queen Elizabeth?
I never said Doctor Who was accurate, just so you know.
Fair enough.
Lewis. Next question. Heroes and Demons. The TARDIS lands on SD-184, which is a spaceship, whatever you want to call it, where the captain has gone missing after he enters the Hollow program, and on equally suspicious circumstances, the crew is also disappearing. The Doctor investigates the mystery of the Hollow program. It's down to the Doctor to save the remaining crew, but what is stopping her from disappearing too?
So wait, the name again?
Heroes and Demons.
I'd say Hogwash and Whoniverse.
Brian?
I'm going to choke to death. Thus ending Whoniverse Hogwash. I'm going to say Whoniverse Hogwash.
Whoniverse Hogwash and
Hogwash Whoniverse.
you're both going opposites.
Yeah.
It's Hoggity Wash. It is actually season 1, episode 12 of Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Where the emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, must save the crew of the Voyager from the holodeck.
I knew it was.
Is that a point each?
I knew it was
1 point each.
Star Trek.
I thought it was
like
a plot to Hollow Man.
Yeah.
Lewis? No, it's Brian. Brian. Scream of the Shulker. Starring Richard E. Grant as the Doctor. After materialising in the village of Lynette in Lancashire, the Doctor, along with a local barmaid and her boyfriend, find themselves up against an underground alien force called the Shulker, who, as part of their preparation for an all-out invasion of Earth, are stripping away the ozone layer from a planet. Try to go out on west.
It's Very good.
From a planet
Was that
or
right?
the
Was it?
planet?
Thank you.
I'm going to say Whoniverse.
Okay.
I agree with Brian on this.
Yeah, it is Whoniverse. A Flash animated series produced to coincide with the 40th anniversary of the series. It was originally posted in 6 weekly parts from 13th of November to 18th of December 2003 on BBC.co.uk's Doctor Who website.
I've actually seen it.
Yeah. It's a big advantage.
Yeah, you know what? I think everyone has. But like I said, I didn't write these. I usually make them more cryptic.
The animation's a little. It's a lot like the VR animation, isn't it? You know, I remember it being a lot darker though than the than the
Richard E.
VR
Grant's
animation.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So, just to recap, I think it's 5 to Brian,
Yeah.
4 to Lewis.
It
Correct.
is, yeah.
Lewis. Evacuation of Earth. So I just go like Adam West on the wall. Arriving on Earth only hours before a solar storm is due to wipe out all life on the planet, the Doctor and his companion discover the last group of humans preparing to evacuate. No sooner have they arrived than the TARDIS disappears and they embark on a mission to recover it, encountering Salarians and Daleks along the way. See, what's happening now is he's second guessing himself, so no matter what happens,
I'm going to be wrong.
he's going to disappoint himself.
I've
Right.
got my answer set already.
I'm going to say.
It's funny because he was like proper, like saying, "Oh, I'm on a streak, I'm on a streak."
Yeah. I'm going to say.
Universe.
No, I'm going to say Hogwash Universe.
Okay.
No, wait. Evacuation of Earth. I'm going to say Universe Hogwash, sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's a right load of hogwash.
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
Holy moly! You get 0 points, Brian.
No.
You get 1 point.
It's a draw. It's 5 each.
If one of you just said Whoniverse,
Yeah.
it was the second Doctor Who video game to be released for the Nintendo DS. Fun fact, it's already been on Whoniverse or Hogwash.
We must pay more attention.
We've got it, yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit of repetition in this. I did bring it up, but then I thought, will they remember it?
Yeah, I need to go with my gut on things like the when you're putting Stargate in there, I instantly think that's familiar. You know that plot line's familiar.
The thing is, all Doctor Who descriptions are going to sound familiar.
Yeah.
But I change them just enough to make it sound like a very valid Doctor Who episode. You know, there's so many to choose from. You can't possibly memorise them all, Lewis.
Yes. But I've seen Stargate so many times, I should know.
You know the worst part is, for those listening, if you go back and listen to all the previous ones, he's never got a Stargate question correct.
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy because I second guess myself thinking, is that a Stargate episode? And I go with no all the time.
Yeah. Speaking of previous episodes, on the second one, Brian's talking about being in the shower with his coach in school, and it's like, don't clean it like that, boy.
The dark days of class.
Oh, memories. Hey, you liked that episode. You gave it an 8 out of 10. So don't even start. You never got past the second episode.
Oh, the Coach of the Dragon Tattoo.
Yes.
Fantastic.
It was a great episode.
Was that flashbacks from Bri there?
Yes.
Flashbacks. So that's it for Whovian Whoniverse this week. You've been listening to me, Jamie.
Me, Lewis.
Me, Brian.
And you can follow me on Watson's Musings on Twitter. You can follow Brian.
Beach007.
Yeah, you can follow Lewis in real life.
Or at Lbrook14.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, yes.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
And you can also, we've got our own Twitter account, Whoniverse. And we haven't said a thank you to Zip Farm in a while, have we?
No. Thank you, Zip Farm.
Yeah, thank you, Zip Farm, for the logo. We really do appreciate you, whatever you do in the world. Swimming in zits, popping zits. Stick a little straw through the little head at the top and then
Sup it out, yeah.
Yeah. If I do my best Hannibal, it's like,
That is pretty gross.
thank you. Yeah, have you got anything you want to say?
No.
Bored, bye.
Bye, season
Have a week.
23.
Have a week.